If you're over 65, you've probably been told to eat healthy and drink more fluids. But here's a little-known truth. Some foods that sound healthy on the label can quietly stress aging kidneys, especially if you're on common medications or have reduced kidney function and don't know it yet. In the next few minutes, I'll show you 5 healthy choices that often backfire for seniors, exactly why they can be risky and simple, swaps that protect your kidneys without giving up flavor or nutrition. Stay with me to the end, and I'll give you a 1-minute label check and a 7-day Kidney Easy Mini plan you can start today. You'll learn how kidneys change with age and why that makes us more sensitive to things like potassium, phosphorus, sodium, and oxalate. You'll learn which drinks and snacks push those numbers up the symptoms to watch for and how to season food, so it still tastes amazing without relying on salt or potassium-based salt substitutes. Quick safety note before we begin, this is educational, not medical advice. Talk with your clinician, especially if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, known kidney disease, heart failure, or if you take ACE inhibitors, ARBs, spironolactone, potassium supplements, or diuretics. Food can be powerful, and sometimes that power cuts both ways. Let's set the stage. Your kidneys are your body's filters. With age, those filters naturally become less efficient. Even if you feel great, your glomerular filtration rate often trends lower decade by decade. That means minerals you used to handle easily, like potassium and phosphorus, can build up faster. Sodium gets harder to balance. Dehydration hits sooner. And if you're also on medications that raise potassium or change how your body handles fluids, the margin for error shrinks. Here's the tricky part. A food can be healthy for a 30-year-old athlete and still be a poor choice for a 70-year-old with mild kidney impairment. So our rule today is simple: portion and timing matter, the label matters, and your personal health picture matters most. How did I choose the 5 foods on this list? I looked for items that are marketed as healthy, commonly eaten by older adults, and likely to cause trouble through one of 4 pathways. They're very high in potassium, very high in oxalate, which can feed kidney stones loaded with added phosphates from processing, or they interact with typical medications. Again, if your kidneys are normal and your clinician says your labs look great, some of these can still fit, just not in the amounts or combinations that cause spikes. Let's start with the most surprising one: coconut water and many electrolyte drinks. Hydration is wonderful. Potassium overload is not. Coconut water is naturally potassium dense. For some people, that's fine. But for anyone with reduced kidney function or taking potassium-raising drugs, repeatedly sipping this through the day can tip you toward hyperkalemia, too much potassium in the blood, which can cause fatigue, muscle weakness, or even heart rhythm problems. The same concern applies to certain sports drinks, no sugar electrolyte powders, and recovery beverages that add potassium salts to replace sodium. What to do instead? For everyday hydration, try plain water with a squeeze of lemon or lime. If you want light electrolytes without the potassium spike, dilute your drink half water, half beverage, or choose a low potassium formula. On hot days or after gentle exercise, a mug of warm, low-sodium broth can be a pleasant, kidney-easy way to replace sodium without piling on potassium. And whatever you choose, avoid sipping a potassium-rich drink right alongside a potassium-rich meal. Food number 2, spinach and beet greens smoothies. I love leafy greens, but some greens are far higher in oxalate than others. Oxalate can bind with calcium in the urine and contribute to kidney stones, which become more common after 60, especially if fluid intake is low. The superfood smoothie trend often blends raw spinach, beet greens, almonds, dates, and cocoa, an oxalate party in a cup. If you're also on warfarin, the big swings in vitamin K from huge raw greens smoothies can complicate dose management. Better approach: rotate your greens. Use romaine arugula or blanched kale instead of raw spinach every day. If you do enjoy some spinach, pair it with a calcium source like a splash of milk or a scoop of yogurt in the smoothie. That helps bind oxalate in the gut before it reaches the kidneys. And keep liquids steady through the day. Small regular sips rather than chugging late at night if nighttime urination is an issue. Food number 3, almonds and almond products, almond flour, almond butter, almond milk. Almonds have a heart-healthy reputation, and small portions can fit many diets. The problem comes when almonds become the default base of your day. Almond flour pancakes at breakfast, handfuls of almonds. As snacks, almond milk lattes, almond-crusted chicken at dinner. Almonds are among the higher oxalate nuts, so frequent large servings can nudge stone risk up, especially combined with low fluid intake and other high oxalate foods. Almond milks can add another challenge. Some brands include phosphate additives for texture, and those added phosphate ingredients are absorbed far more readily than natural phosphorus in foods. That's hard on kidney health. Instead, rotate your nuts. Macadamias and walnuts are flavorful, lower in oxalate per serving, and have great fats. If you like plant milks, choose versions without phosphate additives. Many oat and soy milks offer options labeled without phosphate ingredients. And if you bake, try a mix of oat flour and ground flax instead of relying on almond flour alone. Food number 4, dried fruits, like apricots, prunes, and raisins. They sound virtuous, and they do contain fiber, but drying concentrates minerals and sugar into tiny bites. A small handful can deliver the potassium of several pieces of fresh fruit, and it's easy to keep nibbling because the volume is so low. That can be a problem for anyone who needs to moderate potassium or watch blood sugar spikes. Sticky dried fruit also clings to teeth, which isn't great for oral health. A smarter swap is fresh high-water fruits like berries, grapes, or sliced apple paired with protein cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, or a few walnuts to blunt the sugar surge. If you really love dried fruit, treat it like a garnish, 1 or 2 pieces chopped into yogurt, rather than a big handful out of the bag. Food number 5. Potassium-based salt substitutes, often labeled light salt. They're marketed as heart-healthy because they reduce sodium, but they replace it with potassium chloride. For healthy young kidneys, that may be okay. For older adults, especially those with kidney disease on ACE inhibitors, ARBs, potassium-sparing diuretics, like spironolactone, or with heart rhythm issues, these products can push potassium dangerously high. The safer way to boost flavor is to layer acidity, aroma, and umami. Use garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, citrus zest, fresh herbs, vinegar, and a little mustard to wake up a dish. If you want a salty feel without sodium or potassium, look for blends that use dried herbs, pepper, citrus, and kelp granules carefully, or try a small splash of vinegar at the table, which makes food taste brighter, so you need less salt overall. If your clinician has you on a sodium target, follow that plan. For many older adults, keeping total sodium closer to what your care team recommends is the most important lever. Let's make this simple with quick swaps you can remember. Instead of coconut water every afternoon, try cold water with lemon and a pinch of baking soda if your clinician says it's appropriate, or simply water infused with cucumber and mint. Instead of daily raw spinach smoothies, rotate in kale or romaine and add a spoon of yogurt for calcium. Instead of almond everything, enjoy a small portion of macadamias or walnuts and use oat or soy milk without phosphate additives. Instead of big handfuls of dried apricots or raisins at night, reach for fresh berries or apple slices with a spoon of cottage cheese. And instead of potassium-based light salt, build flavor with garlic, onion, citrus zest, vinegar, and herb blends. Let me give you a 1-minute label check that protects kidneys without overthinking. First, scan the ingredient list for potassium chloride. If it's listed, this is a salt substitute and may not be right for you. Second, look for any ingredient that starts with phos, like phosphoric acid, sodium, phosphate, pyrophosphate. Those are phosphate additives. Pick a brand without them when you can. Third, check the nutrition facts panel. Some beverages list potassium per serving. If the number looks high and you're sensitive to potassium, choose a different option or dilute it. Fourth, confirm the serving size. Many drinks show the numbers for half the bottle. Finally, check sodium if you're monitoring blood pressure or fluid retention. This is still the day-to-day lever that matters most. Put the product back on the shelf if 2 or 3 red flags pop up. There's usually an alternative a few inches away. Now, how do you know if a food or drink is starting to cause trouble? Pay attention to these red flags and call your clinician if they show up. New or worsening swelling in your ankles or around your eyes. Sudden weight gain over a couple of days that isn't just from extra clothing. Persistent muscle weakness, unusual fatigue or tingling. Heart palpitations, or a sense that your heart is beating irregularly. Foamy urine, flank pain, or dark urine that doesn't improve with hydration. If you see any of these, especially if you've recently increased healthy drinks or salt substitutes, don't tough it out. Call your doctor or care team. And if your labs have ever shown reduced kidney function, ask for a referral to a renal dietitian. 1 or 2 sessions can personalize your plate and prevent a lot of worry. All right, let's turn this into action with a simple 7-day kidney easy mini plan, nothing fancy. Just gentle shifts that stack up. Day 1, hydration reset. Pour a large pitcher of water, add lemon slices and a few mint leaves, and keep it visible. Aim for steady sips from morning to early evening, rather than drinking most of your fluids at night. If nighttime bathroom trips are an issue, taper fluids after dinner unless your clinician advises otherwise. Day 2. Green rotation. Move from raw spinach smoothies to a kale or romaine smoothie with a spoon of yogurt or milk to bind oxalate. Keep fruit to 1 serving per smoothie and add a tablespoon of ground flax for fiber. Day 3. Nut rotation. Swap the almond handful for a small portion of macadamias or walnuts. If you love almond milk, try an oat or soy milk brand without phosphate additives. Check that ingredient list. Day 4. Snack rethink. Replace dried fruit with fresh berries or a sliced apple paired with protein, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a hard-boiled egg. Notice how you stay fuller longer with the protein. Day 5. Flavor school. Make a no-salt, no-potassium chloride seasoning blend, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, smoked paprika, dried thyme, lemon zest, and a pinch of oregano. Keep it by the stove. Day 6. Label lab. Spend 10 minutes in your pantry. Pull 3 products you use often: your go-to beverage, your favorite plant milk, and your spice blend. Check for potassium chloride, any phos additives, and sodium per serving. Swap at least 1 item for a cleaner option the next time you shop. Day 7. Gentle movement plus minerals. Take a 20-minute walk after lunch to help blood sugar and blood pressure. Both protect kidney health. If your clinician has you on a calcium or vitamin D plan, take it as directed. Steady habits matter more than perfection. Through this week, keep portions modest and balanced. If you're changing multiple foods at once, make notes on how your energy, sleep, and bathroom patterns respond. Your kidneys love consistency more than extremes. Before we wrap, a quick reality check on healthy. Coconut water isn't evil, spinach isn't bad, almonds aren't wrong, dried fruit isn't poison, and even salt substitutes have a place for some people. The problem is the mismatch between the marketing and what aging kidneys can comfortably handle, especially when medications shift that balance. Your body doesn't care about the label. It cares about the load. Adjust the load, and you keep the benefits while lowering the risk. Let's recap the Big 5 with better-for-you alternatives you can use tonight. Coconut water and certain electrolyte drinks, great marketing high-potassium dilute, or use lemon water or choose low-potassium options. Raw spinach and beet greens smoothies. High oxalate rotate to kale or romaine and add a little dairy or calcium source. Almond everything tasty but oxalate dense and sometimes phosphate added rotate nuts, and pick plant milks without phos ingredients. Dried fruits. Tiny volume, big potassium and sugar, favor fresh high water fruit with protein. Potassium-based light salt can skyrocket potassium in the wrong context. Build flavor with herbs, spices, zest, vinegar, and umami. If you found this helpful, drop the word kidney in the comments and I'll share the quick swap list and the 7-day plan in a printable format. And if you want a deeper dive like a grocery store walkthrough and a Read Your Labs guide tailored for older adults, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video. Most important, bring this information to your next appointment and ask your clinician what's right for you. Your kidneys may be small, but the difference you can make for them is huge. One smarter sip, one smarter swap at a time.